Here with AJ Rossitto representing the Democratic Party tonight. So, what are your expectations coming into this debate?
Well, I think it's going to be a very well-balanced debate. The opponent is very energetic, and I'm hoping that we're going to have some good questions tonight, so I can really show the crowd who they want to vote.
So, what do you need to do to win this debate tonight?
Tonight? It's actually
today.
Well, all I need to do is point out my issues, my campaign strengths, and really show the people who they're voting for.
Alright, thank you very much. Good luck. Sean Houle representing the Republican Party. So Sean, what are your expectations for the debate today?
I think it's going to be a good debate. My partner, my opponent, is good debater. He's going to be a tough competition, but I hope it's going to be good.
So what do you need to do to win this debate today?
Point the facts out, keep them straight, and hope for the best.
Alright, thank you very much. Good luck.
Let's please keep it quiet while they give their presentations. It'll be in 2-minute increments where they'll be introducing their platform, talking about foreign policy and the economy. Once they're done, they'll also be able to respond to each other. Keep your questions. If we have time, we'll be able to go to student questions for a couple minutes. If not, we'll have questions and answer period on the 2nd. So we're going to start. We had a coin toss, where Sean won the coin toss and he defer and let AJ start. So AJ is going to start us out. Okay. So AJ, please start us out and tell us all about your platform. Yes, go ahead.
Well, first off, I'd like to start by saying thank you all for showing up. I know this is a very pressing issue for you. I feel that your participation in this room says a lot about our school, about our class.
Soshi Monero, please come to the office immediately. Soshi Monero, please come to the office.
Now, in regards to my policy and my platform, I believe that same-sex marriage should be allowed. I believe that what we're doing in the Middle East should be limited, and it should be measured responses instead of plunging headfirst into conflicts and actions that we don't have any responsibility in. As far as at home, I believe in creating jobs and manufacturing and increasing education, making it easier for you to go to college. Thank you.
And your 2 minutes starts now.
Hello, my fellow seniors. I'm just here to run as president. First thing I'm going to do as president is actually upgrade our military, because we have been degrading it too much, and it's been making our entire nation look weak. We have been just decimating our nuclear weapons, which should not be. We should not be doing that, because if Iran is 4 years away, then we are in serious trouble. We are opening ourselves for an invasion of such countries. Another thing that I'm going to do is get rid of Obamacare. I do not like it. I'm not going to have it. It doesn't make sense. Another thing I'm getting rid of is the welfare and food stamps, or at least I'm going to restrict it to where it's not usable for people who just sit around and do nothing and just use it to their advantage the entire time. What we want to try and do is make a country where you build yourself up and you build for your family and for your home. Thank you.
Tell us first about your economic policy, how you plan on helping the American people with job growth and the deficit. And then once your 2 minutes is up, then Sean, you'll have your 2 minutes, and then we'll give you 2 minutes each to respond to those policies. So please, AJ.
One of the biggest concerns facing you today and myself is jobs, our jobs. Now, most of you believe that we aren't creating jobs in America. That's simply untrue, and it's been pushed by my opponent. We've created over 5 million new jobs in the past 31 months. Over 500,000 jobs in the manufacturing industry, which means people like Sean can get a job. People like you can get a job. People like me can get a job. Now, when people say that the deficit is going up and that what I'm doing isn't helping, that's, again, untrue. What I'm doing is I'm setting up a plan, I'm setting up a system where we can actually pay off our debt. We're actually slowing down the debt, and we're cutting it off. I'm working with Republicans nearly day and night. I'm reaching across the aisle, so to speak. And I'm working with them to create a deal, and I have created deals with them to cut our spending. Now, when he said in his opening statement that he wanted to increase funds to the military, he wants to increase them by $2 trillion. $2 trillion. That's money that they don't even want. The military specifically said that they did not need nor want that money because they would have to reallocate the funds. Now, I don't know where he's planning on even getting the funds for that. As far as cutting Obamacare, it actually is part of my economic plan to help boost the economy. In it are 18 tax breaks for small businesses to help promote growth and industry in America. Now, I don't believe that what he has, as a matter of fact, I can't think of anything that he has offered, ever, as far as his tax cuts. Maybe that's a question best left.
Time's up. All right.
Okay, what my opponent seems to realize is that in the past 4 years, he has actually doubled the debt for our country and has still yet failed to raise the unemployment below 8%. So,
It's actually 7.8 right
He's talking.
and I never said $2 trillion. I said I would increase funding to the military. So if I put $2 trillion into the military, we don't even have that money to spend. So I'm not putting $2 trillion into the military. I will put some, but not $2 trillion, because $2 trillion is too much. Now, another thing, I will open jobs, just like I did in Massachusetts. And I will work with each state to form new types of jobs. For instance, we'll go more green, because it's just the way the world is turning right now. It works. It's environmentally safe. Another reason I'm sorry, but he lacks any real experience. He's 2 years as a U.S. Senator, and he's been a community organizer for, he hasn't served our country in any way, basically, except as president. Except as president. And again, who's loved by me? Or John.
Okay, so now you have your rebuttal.
Now, going to boost military by $2 trillion? That's simply untrue. It's in your campaign policy, online, on your website. You've said it in multiple debates, speeches, campaign platforms. I can't tell you how many fundraisers I've attended where you actually stated $2 trillion. Now, how many jobs did you create when you were governor? Exactly. I posed that question to you when you are allowed your rebuttal. And when you say that you want to expand green energy, you're flip-flopping your stance. You're directly flip-flopping your stance. Originally, when you were governor, you said that you supported big business, coal industry. You supported clean coal, which is an irony in itself. Then, you said you wanted to create green jobs, green energy. How exactly have you helped produce that? You've actually tried to stop my green energy plans and policies. Now, I've had 4 years in presidency. I know what it takes to run America.
Oh, wow.
I know what it takes to get America moving and to get it moving in the right direction. You, sir, are downright lying. Thank you.
Okay. And his stance on the economy.
I'm sorry. But just because I say $2 trillion, it's not 2 trillion.
So you don't need it.
That's the American people. That's what they want with $2 trillion. But in order, we don't have $2 trillion to spend. So I'm not going to do that. But in the past 4 years, you have doubled our debt. What are you spending the money on besides Medicare and EBT cards and you can't use those. Like we can, but it's just we need them more regulated. They're too open. People can just use and abuse them, and then they sit at home and do nothing. So we need to strengthen that, regulate it better.
All right, what is going on in the Middle East with the Arab Spring and our involvement with Libya and our lack of involvement in Syria. So please, AJ, talk about that and what the policy is for your administration with that, and then what you would do with foreign policy if you were president.
Is this directly in Syria? Or
Syria
just
and the Middle East in general.
So as president, I have rejected extremism. I've called it out. I am waging a war against extremism and Al-Qaeda. That was one of my initial strategies, one of my initial policies. Then, I held true to our 2014 withdrawal date. I'm holding true to our internationally declared withdrawal date. Now, people say that we can't withdraw from Afghanistan because we're going to be leaving it unprotected. But if we don't withdraw, then we're going to have the same situation as we have in Iraq, where they're accusing us of setting up false governments and rigging elections. Now, in the Middle East, the attack on Benghazi, the embassy, was a national tragedy. My opponent decided to use the tragedy to a political advantage. He started pointing fingers on the very first day. This is not right. This is not American. He shouldn't be allowed, as president, to point fingers just for political gain. That's un-American in its simplest form. That doesn't go with the core values and beliefs of America. I believe in assisting the Middle East, and we have provided aid in various countries in the Arab Spring. We are doing our part in the Middle East, but we shouldn't do any more. We shouldn't overreach ourselves and anger any more the people of the Middle East. Thank you.
Okay. And your foreign policy, sir?
My foreign policy is that we're going to stay there until they have a sustainable government that can be run by their people and for their people. Until that has happened, I will not withdraw the troops. Because it's just not right. Because then, like you said, you're setting us up for another Iran. But it's like
what would be your foreign policy if, so you were president, what would your foreign policy say in Yemen? There's an Arab Spring, they decided they need to get rid of the Yemenis government. What would our stance be on that? Or what would our stance be on Palestine, pushing that as a
Dakota and Malia, please report to the school office. Dakota and Malia, please report to the school office.
I would, as long as they are, that is what everyone wants, I believe they have a right to do that, and that we should help them out in whatever means necessary.
So would we be helping out the government to stay there, or would we be helping out the people to oust the government?
We'd be helping the people.
now have 2 minutes to rebut his foreign policy and vice versa.
If we don't set a timeline and a withdrawal date for our troops, then the governments in that region aren't going to want to have us withdraw our troops. They're not going to want to build their own government. They're not going to want to build their own military force. They're more than happy to let us fund it, to let us do it, to let us risk our men's lives out in the Middle East for their land, for their gain. By setting a deadline, we show them that we are pulling out. We're not going to be pulling out wholeheartedly. We're not going to be withdrawing every troop instantly. We're going to do a gradual withdrawal. We've already begun the gradual withdrawal. In doing this, we're still allowing ourselves to train the troops, to train Afghanistan to defend itself from terrorism. We are maintaining our military force. We are maintaining a military force, but we are withdrawing our troops. Now, when you said that, or when you were asked how you would support the people, Iran is actually a current issue. Now, I understand that you've said in your policy that you would see or support the people of Iran in their resentment of their government, the Iranian government. Not everyone wants the Iranian government overthrown. Not everyone wants for a country to be totally stricken by war, to have buildings blown up, to have schools destroyed. Maybe schools destroyed. But not everyone wants to have their country decimated by war. Now, in Iran, we are playing hardball with them. They try and push, we are going to stop them. They want to build nuclear weapons, we aren't going to let them. We've already put in place sanctions. Sanctions that he despises, that he corrects against, yet that he condones in his other statements.
Okay. Current foreign policy.
We can stop them from building nuclear warheads, but all in all, they're going to keep trying. So no matter how much we try and stop them, they will eventually succeed. But when they do that, we're going to have a weak defense because you are trying to get us less than 300 warheads, when China still has 1,500 and Russia has over 800. So why would we want to weaken our nuclear force when Iran can build one bomb and then they have the open option to declare nuclear war on us, and that leaves us completely open because we have no defense. We have no army. We have no navy. We have no air force. We have nothing. We will be defeated because we will have no defense budget whatsoever.
Okay. All right. So one final statement from you on why you think that people should vote for you, and then let's keep it down to a minute, please.
Well, I'd like to start off by saying that I did kill Osama bin Laden. I'm sure that's a boost for anybody. Now, he might say that he would do the same thing, although he's also very gentle with where he treads. He's very light in how he walks in foreign countries. We went in there and we did what we needed to do. Now, when he says that we're limiting the amount of nukes we have, we're limiting it in a contract with Russia in accordance with the peace treaty. Now, do you know how many nukes we need to destroy a country, to obliterate it? We don't even need 300. We can easily reduce the amount of nuclear weapons we have. Now, what I'm more concerned about in foreign policy is cyber warfare. In the Middle East, they've unleashed a virus called the Shamoon virus. Now, if that spreads to the US, we're done for. I can protect against it. Thank you.
Okay, and a minute. Sean?
Alright, I just want to thank you all for coming today to our debate. But you said that we had a contract with Russia, but what about China? That still leaves China wide open. And if they sell their ideas, or if they sell their bombs to Iran, then that still leaves us open to a major nuclear disaster. And even though we still can destroy a country with less than 300, we still have no force. So either way, we're just digging ourselves in a deeper hole. So.
And why should we vote for you, sir?
You should vote for me because I'm Sean Houle. No, you should vote for me because I swear to get the unemployment rate, or unemployment below 8%, and I will not
It is.
increase the deficit. It's not so. In the United States.
Numbers came out.
Very good.
National Wikipedia deployment.
Okay, we're done. Thank you, gentlemen.
We're here with Sean Houle, representing the Republican Party. So, what are your feelings after coming out of this debate?
He was a very good debater. He had the lead the entire time. I think he won that debate.
What did you need to do differently during the debate?
I need to just point out better facts. Don't say that. Don't
I
say
had
that.
with AJ Rossitto after the debate. So, how are your feelings on the debate?
I think it went very well. We were asked some very good questions, and I hope that I answered the questions to everyone's satisfaction. I feel that it was a very even debate, and that we should be proud that we live in a country where we can have debates and have free speech, and I want to protect that.
Is there anything you think you should have done differently in this debate?
No, I think I handled it fairly well for the situation that was at hand, and I'm 100% behind what I did.
Alright, thank you very much. Congratulations.